breaking news. Katt Williams responds to Jay-Z getting arrested, and it will shock you what Katt Williams said. Katt Williams is the one who started this off on Club Shay Shay. Round of applause to Katt Williams on Club Shay Shay. Relax, y'all. Relax. We're going to sit back. We're going to listen to what Katt Williams got to say. This joint is crazy. Make sure you subscribe at Mecca Audio TV and YouTube. Hit the notification bell as well as over here. And cop my man Lou Sims' book. The QR code on the screen works. Let's get it popping. All right. Keep it going. 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 Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what? Mecca audio. I like the way it's going down. All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. We're going to begin this joint. We're going to get right to it, get right to the nitty gritty. Katt Williams said 2024, the big dick deviants will be exposed. And this is the exposure. And I want to say this before we go any further. Jay-Z, be careful what you ask for. You're pushing about them making it a criminal case. Come on, family. Tone it down. You're fighting against a shark now. Relax. Like you said, you're a man that made it out the projects. You didn't go to these people's European school to now to play these European games that they playing. Whole different place. That's why we have different pieces on the chessboard. You're just one piece. You're a king, and everyone else around you on your board is just to protect you. Let your lawyer do the protecting. All right, let's get this thing going.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one."
If you think about everything he said, and you're able to dissect and go back and listen to all the things he said that were going to happen in the year, you notice everything did happen. I don't know how he knew. I don't know who he talks to, or who I mean, what inside information he might have. But everything he said, it came true. Everything he said came true. So there's some truth to everything that he knows, and the fact that he's saying I held back a little bit, he probably has stuff on people, and he just used jabs instead of throwing that haymaker. He could have. I'm assuming it could have been the careers.
There's a possibility.
At Katt Williams, who's getting exposed next? Hashtag Katt has the answers.
Katt Williams is back just in time to respond to the news about Jay-Z potentially going behind bars. Ever since the Diddy fiasco went down, people have been pointing fingers at Jay-Z, accusing him of being just as monstrous as the diddler and actively engaging in the freak-offs. And now he has been sued along with Diddy for allegedly R-wording a 13-year-old after she was laced and left vulnerable. And bet that Katt Williams has a few choice words for Jay-Z now that the cat's out of the bag. This has been a wild year ever since Katt dropped that Club Shay Shay interview, but the way it looks right now, 2025 is going to be one hell of a ride. Tony Busby has been one of the lawyers really riding the Diddy wave hard after claiming to have over 100 credible witnesses and victims who claim to have been unwilling participants at Diddy's freak-offs. He made it clear that he wasn't afraid of naming names and was going to protect himself if the people at the top ever deemed him a threat and came for him. Tony has been reaching out to celebs in private, telling them what the victims are saying and asking them to settle before he says anything in public. Many A-listers have shelled out a few coins to keep their names out of the headlines. But
So what do you think about that? You got a lawyer that pulls up on someone and tells them, hey, look, your name came up in the joint. If you want to keep your name out the headlines, this is what you got to do. Allegedly. Does that sound like extortion to you? For them to actually say, hey, I got some clients that saying your name with something real nasty that'll tear apart your career. What you want to do? You want to settle this amicably, or do you want to pursue this further in the court? You put in the comments if that sounds like extortion to you.
From the look of things, Jay-Z ain't one of them. Back in November, Tony came out with a long post on his IG saying that a very powerful John Doe has been pulling all connections to intimidate and silence not just him, but the victims he was representing.
See, so right there, Tony Busby saying that, what this is allegedly showing is that Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z was being contacted by Tony Busby, and Jay-Z put out, a thing in the court against Tony Busby, letting it be known that da-da-da-da, and he didn't put him in the initial lawsuit with Diddy because he thought that maybe they could work it out amicably. But obviously somewhere along the line, it either fell apart if they was talking, or Jay-Z took too long to respond, and then Tony Busby fired his shot and went and brought it public. And now where Jay-Z knew what was coming, so that's why he already had his response ready to fire back so quickly, and now it's a war. So let's see where we go from here.
Busby didn't name anyone and only said that he was not going to stop fighting. Right before he said what he said, Tony's law firm had filed a lawsuit on behalf of one of Diddy's accusers. She claimed that she was 13 when she met Brother Love and came across him while she was desperately trying to get into the MTV Music Video Awards. As she was trying to get in, a grown man approached her, telling her that she was the right fit for Diddy and they could get her a seat at the awards show. She was taken to Diddy's after party. So when she got to this
shouldn't that man also be arrested and charged? A 13-year-old girl, you're going to say, is a perfect fit for a grown man. He should be charged as well. Put it in the comments.
Party, she was asked to sign an NDA and ended up taking a drink which allegedly had something in it. After
a 13-year-old signing an NDA? Non-disclosure for a 13-year-old? Come on, man.
She was feeling dizzy and stumbling everywhere. Before she knew what was happening, she found herself in a room with no furniture and a big bed. She was scared when Diddy came in with two other celebs, a male and a female. She didn't identify the two in the lawsuit, but said Diddy threw her like a rag doll on the bed. He alleges that Diddy and the male celeb had their way with her while the other celebs just watched. When Diddy tried to go again, she got up, punched him in the neck, and grabbed her stuff and ran out of the room. She didn't stop running until she got to a gas station to call her dad and tell him what happened to her. This happened in the early 2000s, and at first the girl was only going after the diddler, and now the lawsuit has revealed that the other unnamed male in the room was actually Jay-Z. It seemed like Jay-Z knew this was coming because he had his response in the drafts, cause he responded almost as soon as his name was mentioned. He also went straight for the jugular and spoke directly to Tony Busby when he said, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one."
Jay-Z, be careful what you ask for, man. These people not playing, right? This is what's going on, right? We're going to ride. We're going to take a ride. Now, check. Jay-Z, you're not one of them. You was being protected under that cloak, right? That Diddy was protected under. They put Diddy out of that cloak, just like now they're putting you from under that cloak, and that's why they allowed Tony Busby to move forward. This is what happened when you're protected by the powers that be. And then the powers that be kick you to the wolves. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. It's going to get real ugly for you, Mr. Jay-Z. It's going to get real ugly. Because when them people turn you loose,
who Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine? You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. But Tony Busby is standing 10 toes down on this once, and he is ready to meet Jay-Z wherever he is.
He telling Jay-Z, I'll meet you in the projects or wherever you want me to meet you at, because I got everything I need to take you down and get the bag for my client and myself. Tony Busby, yo, that's a shark, man. I mean, you gotta give him a round of applause. You gotta give him a round of applause. Whether you're on Jay-Z's side or not on Jay-Z's side, whatever you on, right now you're looking at a combat. Tony Busby, like he said, is a Marine and he's in combat. Jay-Z is a man from the projects and he's in combat. And this is when the projects meet the Marines. All right, let's see who would win. Who do you think is going to win? Put it in the comment.
He released a statement of his own saying, despite a coordinated and aggressive effort that has included harassing my kids, contacting my clients and former clients to encourage them sue me, contacting my colleagues or former employees, asking if I've abused them, showing at my current employees' homes to harass them, filing frivolous cases against me and my law firm, defaming me with outrageous assertions to anyone who will listen, and having mysterious people follow me and my family, I'm still that guy. I won't be bullied or intimidated. People will see through this effort to discredit me and my clients, and the truth will be revealed. I also won't allow anyone to scare my clients into silence. And bet Jaguar Wright having a field day with this one.
Oh, yeah.
You have said that you believe Jay-Z's worse than Diddy, and I believe
Absolutely.
that. Do you believe he's higher up, you know, in the food chain above?
Now
Diddy?
he is. Now he is. He wasn't, which is why I know he's doing everything that he can do to play both sides against the middle, to make sure that Diddy goes down and he stays clean.
Do you think he's scared right now? Do you think Beyonce's scared?
Oh, absolutely. Did you know that Tony Busby, the lawyer that's doing all the Diddy lawsuits, just got sued?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
By a prominent figure. They're trying to make everybody believe it's Kevin Hart. But the funny thing is, the lawsuit that's suing Tony Busby, Spiro is a partner. And Alex Spiro is Jay-Z's personal lawyer.
Oh, so it's probably Jay-Z then that's doing the suing.
Of course they'd use Kevin's name.
Well,
but it ain't Kevin. Why is Alex Spiro popping up everywhere?
And you know 50 Cent is never gonna pass up an opportunity to clown on Jay. Jay said, they said I the kid, everybody get dressed, we going to see Mufasa, LOL. When Katt heard that Jay-Z was finally getting his comeuppance, it felt like people were finally going to know the things he stopped himself from saying. According to reports, Katt finally feels justice is getting served. He believes Jay-Z really needs to be careful right now and move with the same cleverness that got him out of Project Brooklyn to Bel Air. Cause this same pride Jay's been showing is the exact same one that Diddy had with Cassie, and we all know where that got him.
If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? It's not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen.
Thoughts on this?
I think one thing that Mr. Busby has in his favor is the standard by which the civil courts are going to have to weigh this. It's not a criminal case. They don't have to prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. They have to prove it by the preponderance of the evidence. And this means...
See, that means that they don't have to prove nothing. They just got to put a whole bunch of people on the stand to say this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, to just show that, well, where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all you got to prove with a civil court. Remember, O.J. Simpson, he lost the trial, then they went to civil court. But now they're doing the reverse because now it's about the bag, and Tony Busby has lined himself with the federal government, where he's turning over these witnesses and all this investigation he's doing for his civil lawsuit that don't need a higher burden of proof as a criminal lawsuit over to the feds, and then the feds is, letting them know who to get, who not to get, and they working together as one. Tony Busby is like a genius. A genius when you put him in a lawyer's stance, because he done lined himself with the government, so the government is going to get the bag out of Diddy. They're going to get the bag out of Jay-Z, and so is Tony Busby for his clients and himself at 33.33%, or maybe even 50%. Who knows what they worked out.
For the average viewer who doesn't know what that means, what does that mean?
It just means that you have to prove more likely than not that it happened, tipping the scale to, let's say, 51% in your favor with respect to the evidentiary standard. Now, Mr. Busby had a press conference a few months back, and during that press conference, he stated that the civil lawsuits that he was moving forward with were ones that were vetted by his office. He stated that he hired an investigator, that investigator gathered further corroborating evidence. And so I'm very curious to see what corroborating evidence he has that he thinks can meet that low burden of proof.
Folks have also pointed out that in Jay-Z's statement, he never directly or technically denies the allegations. Most of what he said was just to bash Tony and danced around the allegations rather than denying it completely. Jay also filed a motion in court arguing that Jane Doe should reveal her name instead of hiding while he's being dragged on social media. But anyone with a brain knows that if she does that, Jay and Beyonce's fans are going to dunk on her until she books a flight out of the U.S.
There's no vindication for me. Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Hey, yo, if anybody know how to get in touch with Jaguar Wright, please get in touch with. I'd like to talk to this young lady, please. If anybody knows, my number's on the screen, 917-680-9091. Anybody know how to get in touch with Jaguar Wright, please let me know. I definitely would like to talk to her. Strong young lady, because she speaks her mind. Whether you believe her or not, that's neither here nor there, but she speaks her mind, and she was there doing a lot of this, and she's been doing her homework.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. Forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean.
A lot of people allowed it to go on, said nothing, didn't intervene, maybe benefited from it, profited from it. All of these individuals and entities, in my view, have exposure here.
And let's keep it a buck. Saying Jay-Z's hands are completely clean is like saying monkeys can fly. From Foxy Brown to Aaliyah, Tiara Marie, and Rihanna, Jay-Z had some weird relationships with these women when they were teenagers. And even Beyonce was in a relationship with Jay from the time she was a teenager. And there's no way Jay-Z being friends with Diddy for so long and basically coming up together didn't know the things he was interested in. It's either he saw and just minded his business, or also had the same freak in him as Diddy.
Like everybody else, I couldn't believe that it was that extreme. So I've always known him to be turned up, but I didn't know he was that turned up. So, it wasn't a good look. It made me reevaluate. The things that he's been accused of has made me reevaluate every single second I've been in the business.
A hit dog will holler, and with the way Jay-Z reacted to the lawsuit and the things Katt has said, no one thinks Jay is completely innocent. You must be a true D-rider if you don't believe Jay-Z didn't do half the mess PPL been accusing of him for years. Jay-Z has pushed drugs to fund his record company for years, sleeps with young women, and promotes hate to the black community. He's a glorified dealer who's gotten away with crime for a long time. This Jay-Z shit should make everyone realize that you should not idolize celebrities and musicians. A lot of our favorite artists are probably people, or worse, genuine evil, like pure evil. And finally, there's no alternative reality of the multiverse that Jay-Z didn't know exactly what Diddy was doing, and he still was best friends with him. The only explanation possible is that he is cut from the same cloth. Nothing other than that makes sense. Jay-Z just got himself 100 problems to deal with, and he and Diddy are gonna be putting out fires like they were paid to do so.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in hall. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. Did not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.